Moving on. So this is a story that it's not really a story. This is just a fun topic that I like to talk about. And I'm doing this not so much for you, but for us. So I'm lucky enough, yay, go Q, that I have gotten a new job in a hospital, my first ever job in a real hospital. And I say real hospital, but I have been working at a rehab hospital, and I've gotten the best experience. I love my job there. I still love my job there. I think it's amazing people, amazing coworkers. But I'm moving on up. And I'm going to be new. I'm going to be new all over again. I've only been a nurse. I'm barely not new now at the job I'm at, so I am going to be new, brand spanking new again at this new hospital. But with that being said, and this goes for me, and especially for all those brand new spanking new nurses in general that are getting their first nursing job, I want to talk about 5 tips that are going to make your orientation beautiful, much more helpful, much more knowledgeable, where you're going to be successful through your orientation. Orientation can be super easy, can be really relaxed if you just sit back and do as little work as possible. It could be that, but you won't learn as much. It could also be super difficult if you don't know how much to take in and how much to let go and how much. So I'm here to break down your orientation, give you 5 solid tips onto how your orientation will be super successful if you do these things. I'm actually stealing these tips from Kathleen Colduvell from nurses.org. I'm going to put the link down below. She has 10 tips up there, so if you want more extensive explanation on how to have a better orientation, please go down and click that link. Thank you, Kathleen. Sorry for stealing it, but I'm giving you credit, and I cherry picked the 5 that I thought were most super important, / the ones I need to work on the most as well. Number 1, nursing school, you don't know jack shit. If you're coming out of nursing school, you know nothing. It's just zero. Just understand that. Go into the orientation understanding that you know nothing. You just don't. You don't know anything. Number 2, always ask questions. This is... When I say always ask questions, I literally mean always ask questions. Ask why are they doing it the way they're doing it. Ask how are they doing it. Ask where do you get that supplies. Ask how many times can I do it. Ask do I need help doing this. Ask. Because during your orientation, this is the expectation. No one expects you to know anything. Remember, number 1, you don't know anything. People expect you not to know jack shit, so ask away, because that is the expectation. Once your orientation is done, if you're asking the same questions over and over again, people get annoyed. So take notes, ask away, but take notes and try to remember. All right, that's number 2. Number 3, observation is key. Right? You can read the skill, the procedure. You can watch YouTube videos of the skill, the procedure as many times as you goddamn want. But until you see it in real life, until you change your wound vac and you sniff that odor, until you give that, even me giving my first IM injection, right? Like all of these things, when you see it in real life, you pick up on things you would never pick up on a YouTube video. You would absolutely never even know to think of in a textbook. So when you have your preceptor, when you have going through your orientation, if you know that another nurse that is not your preceptor, or if you see a procedure happening that you haven't seen all day, that you know that you're going to have to deal with, or if you don't even know if you have to deal with it but you want to check it out, go check it out. Eyes on the prize. The more you see, the more you will soak in. So number 4, and I think number 4 and 5 are very close to each other. So number 4 is you don't need to do everything on your own. Number 5 is don't be a doormat. So let's do it one step at a time. So number 4, you don't need to do everything on your own. And this is huge for me, especially for a new nurse, for brand new nurses. When you go to a job, you're 20 years old, you just graduated a year, like a couple of months ago, this is your first job, you get on the unit, you're done your orientation, you start working, and there's 10 things you have to do, and now it's time for you to delegate. And you see on your right, you see a PCA that's been there for 45 years. You see on your left, you see an LPN that's been here for 16 years. You see a nurse that doesn't know the unit, and they're here and they've been here for 15 years. And it's your responsibility to delegate to those 3 people what to do, so you can get your job done the most efficiently, most successfully. Everyone in the situation, including the patients, are winning. This is the hardest thing for me to do. I hate with a passion telling other people what to do. I never in the history of my life want to be a charge nurse. I don't like that kind of pressure. All right, I just know that about myself, and that's who I am. But I know that this part of my job is to delegate, right? So you just have to learn, and and I think this is much more of a you'll get it the more you do it type of situation. There's no book that's going to of course the textbook is going to tell you to delegate this job to that person, but when the time comes and they the more you do it, the more you'll get it, right? So this I'm spending a lot of time on this because not only is for you, but this is a whole lot for me as well. Number 5, don't be a doormat. This is simple. So yes, I just told you that you need to delegate a whole lot, and when you do delegate, you need to be smart about it. But on top of being smart about delegating, you also need to know when to say no. Right? That comes hand in hand. If there's 6 things that need to be done, and one of the nursing aides, a PCA, another nurse wants help changing a patient, and you're in the middle of a med pass, you're not going to say, "Oh yeah, let me stop my med pass and go help you do." No, you've got to say no. You've got to put your foot down. Another time you guys need to know when to say no is when you just don't know anything. All the way back to tip number 2, where I said that you need to ask away. If you didn't do something, you've never seen something, and someone asks you to do something and it's in a rush, you need to stand up and voice you need to say absolutely not because I don't want to. I will not do it because I don't know how to. I'm not comfortable doing it, but I will go with you, watch, learn, observe, and then next time I will hopefully do it by myself. That's all I say. So those are the 5 tips I think that that will help you. Like I said again, link down below, nurse.org. Kathleen, she's had 10 tips, much more extensive. She explains everything through. I love those tips. Thank you again to Kathleen. I'm excited for my new job, and I am definitely going to use these, try to capitalize on these tips myself as I move forward in my nursing career.